Everybody playing, spending everything on Alexander Wayne, no slaves. What up? Uh, Hope all is well. My name is Zoe. I am one of the co-founders of Chicago Flips Red. I also have a brand called Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle. And I also want to let people know that I graduated from Second City. So I've always had a comedy background. I've just been behind the scenes. So a lot of things that I do it in a comedic form because the greats are not here anymore that could. Shout out to George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney, the my favorite, all-time favorite, Richard Pryor. Dave Chappelle does a lot, but he could do more when it comes to politics and comedy because at the end of the day, it's not making any sense. And to be afraid or scared about being canceled uh, is crazy to me. Also, I want to let people know because a lot of people be like, you write all these negative things on your page. It may be negative to you, and it is negative, but it's negative because unfortunately it's happening. Unfortunately, it's happening. Okay, so because of that, somebody has to call out the BS. Okay, because y'all can sit here and talk about the federal government took away DEI and all those things. Well, this is why they took away DEI. Do you see how much money these DEI churches is taking? These DEI businesses is taking. These DEI politicians is taking. These DEI workers that work for these departments are taking and not making sure that the DEI money that's allocated to the businesses, the churches, the departments, and even the public service that we put in office, all that money should be put going into our communities. There's no reason why our communities still look like a war zone in 2026 and 2027, and we have all this HBCU college energy. Oh, you went to Howard? You went to Hampton? Who's the real? I love them both. I love girls from Howard, Hampton, FAMU, Dillard. I love AKA. My first love was AKA. However, y'all have literally embarrassed the whole millennial generation, Gen X. You guys really just never cared. Like, never cared. Like, people be like, oh, on one of these videos, I said, I blame the boomers. And I blame the boomers a little, but not like it's the Gen X because you're supposed to change certain things, right? So, for instance, for me, I have changed. Like, I see things that my mom have done business wise, and I'm like, man, when I when I do this business stuff, I'm doing nothing that she did because that's why she wasn't getting what she needed. She wasn't getting the highest contract and stuff like that because she wasn't standing on her worth. Now I know what my mother was worth, and a lot of other people knew what my mother was worth, but she was taken advantage of because if I was if she probably would have had me at, she had my older sister at 17. If she would have had me at a younger age, maybe in her 20s, when she got in her 40s, I would have helped her, like, really get where she needed to be, because my mother had everything. She has the skills. She's passing down to me. So there's certain things that I see my mother do in business I wouldn't do. However, she gave me the blueprint. So the same with all these people who went to school. Y'all went to school. Y'all went to these great schools. Y'all talk about these great schools. However, we have no civil rights attorneys. We have no unlawful eminent domain or eminent domain attorneys or real estate attorneys who practice eminent domain law, especially with how all the redlining that they still do to this day. But it's not so much the white man that y'all always say. No, it's us. It's the politicians who get into these offices. For instance, it's a lot of politicians that will sit and talk to aldermen. They will sit and talk about how there's all these vacant lots in their community and stuff like that. But when it comes to someone trying to buy a lot, they'll go on Shy Block Builder first and take out the lots that may have maybe TIF money lot, maybe in a TIF zone, stuff like that, and give it to their friends. So you're not helping out the community. That's why the crime rate is up. The crime rate is up because they don't want to change the crime rate. They've made too much DEI money on that. CVI money. CVI is a $1 trillion business. Black bodies is a $1 trillion business, especially if you're a black man. So they don't care if you're shooting each other, exterminating each other. They want that. They're happy for the genocide to happen. They're excited that the genocide continues to happen. Matter of fact, they like it even more now because they knocked the projects down. So genocide is just all on all these once great, beautiful blocks that had everything going for itself. But then here you go. Here comes a little Section 8 house right here. And this Section 8 house, I'm not saying all Section 8 house, but this Section 8 house got 5 gang members that are brothers who got beef with everybody. Like, I mean, at this point, I'm just going to talk to the people who get it and understand. And that is so far the 78 people that may be watching this. All right, now let's get into it. This was supposed to be on Friday, but it's Friday. Ended up having meetings after meetings after meetings. You know, Danielle is running for office. We are new to this, and we are doing it the organic way, the grassroots way. So we're having a lot of meetings with people who, you know, we feel that may have some good insight when it comes to this, and then people who have done this stuff in the future, in the past. But you know, again, I feel like, you know, with the help, well, yeah, me, Miss Jessica, we broke the Democratic machine here. You know, that's how I feel. You know, Danielle came and then put the cherry on the top. So, you know, and that was like honestly my goal. You know, again, I tell people all the time, I am big on customer service, super big on customer service when I go out. And my mother has always taken me to some of the best places of me growing up. I've ate at some of the best restaurants. I'm not afraid to try really much anybody's cuisine from different countries and stuff like that. Matter of fact, one of my favorite cuisines is French food. I love French food. I love the French culture. I love everything. I've never been there. So one of my goals is to get to France with my mom. My mom's been there twice. She's even been to the Disney that's over there. She took my older sister when she was younger. But anyway, I'm big on customer service. So when this situation happened with the city unlawfully demolishing my godfather's building and my mother helping him save the building, and they didn't want to compensate, I just felt like these are the laws that you have put in place, well, the government has put in place. These are, you guys have that Bible there, but I don't even know why, to take an oath to follow the U.S. Constitution, follow the Declaration of Independence, follow the Bill of Rights, understand what our country was built on, and do right. So if anybody comes to you and say, "Hey, you guys knocked down a building, and I have all the paper. This is mine. This is mine," and they sit and look at you like you're crazy, and then the law department gives you the three options. Your law department, the city of Chicago law department, gives you the three options to file a claim, get money from your alderman. That alderman over there is David Moore, and he is a crackhead. So he probably smoked up the money that you're supposed to give to the people if anything that happens. So you have that, and then you have file a claim, then lawsuit. So yeah, we did all that, and to this day, we have not gotten paid. I mean, it keeps getting fraud after fraud after fraud after fraud. Matter of fact, I'm putting another lawsuit because you're not gonna sit here and just not pay my godfather who built that business since 1965. You're just not going to do that. Like, you're just not going to not pay him. You knocked down his equity. That building been paid off. Like, we're just not going to play this game. And then you're going to pay my mother who paid to get it out of tax debt. Basically, has used her nonprofit because she's been fighting ever since for the affordable housing and to get the money to build it back up so she could do her affordable housing for veterans. But they wanted the land. They wanted to give they already took the rest of his land. They just want that one little part, that part right there. They had to figure out how to get it, and they just thought that my mom wasn't gonna fight. My mother has always been a fighter, and she's in the courtroom. My mother's always been in corporate. Like I said, she wanted to own her own business. She's always went to school, did everything y'all said. Went to college, all of that. So yeah, I'm not to play my mother or my godfather, and for real, anybody else. If I allow this to just sweep under the rug or just forget about it, then it's going to shut. They're going to do it to. They're going to continue to do it. Like they're doing it, but they're going to continue to do it. So they cannot do that. So the people who is watching, they cannot. The city of Chicago, the city, any city that you're in, the government cannot knock down private property and not pay. There's no there. Even though they can tell you the craziest things, if they want your property. If they want your property, they're going to take it by any means necessary. Now, you might get lucky and get somebody that will pay you for it, but other than that, nah. And you got to be in the cool club. All right, now, crime is not down. Okay, so we're gonna start with that. Okay, crime is not down, and I think that people know that. He knows that. Brandon Johnson knows that, and this man that's next to him all the time, Will Hall, knows that. Okay, Will Hall, that's another character by himself. But anyway, Brandon Johnson has I can't call him man-made. Y'all call him mayor, but Brandon Johnson's gun violence reduction approach is supposed to be built around the community violence intervention, youth programs, mental health services, and coordination of city resources rather than relying on the traditional policing. This is why he has to get out of office. He has to get out of office. That's number one. Okay. In June of 2026, Johnson signed an executive order creating the Mayor's Office of Gun Violence Reduction. The office is intended to coordinate violence prevention programs, victim services, and safety investments across city agencies. It's also meant to develop a long-term citywide gun violence reduction strategy. People that oppose this are arguing that Chicago has already multiple offices and programs dealing with violence and question whether creating another structure will produce measurable results. Community violence intervention, CVI. Now that's where they steal the big bucks, kids. That's where they steal the big bucks. Okay. They've been doing that for so long. Now, CVI is some of the biggest DEI money. And the reason why I say that, because who has the most gun violence in the urban communities? Can I get you guys to say black and brown? Black and brown. A few whites here and there, but I promise you, it's black and brown. And what is that? DEI money, right? You got the same raggedy DEI politicians in these raggedy, ran down DEI wards with all this HBCU college education, and our communities still look the way they look. And y'all are getting millions of dollars of CVI money in the city of Chicago, hundreds of millions. Now, Johnson's strategy relies heavily on violence interrupters, community organizations, faith leaders, and neighborhood-based programs. The idea is to intervene before shootings happen. Hold on. Put that gun down, sir. Put that machine gun down now. Let's talk about it. If a person is in the middle about to shoot somebody, you may get shot too. Okay? So if these fellows, if these people, if these gang members, if these shooters, if these young shooters, YSs, if these young shooters want to stop shooting, they're going to go to a person who they know is going to help them. Okay, a true person. They're going to go to the police. They're going to have one police officer that they confide in. They have their faith leader that they confide in. They have their big cousin that they confide in. They have somebody, maybe a politician, that they confide in. If they're ready to stop, the YSs are going to come bring you all of their guns, all of them. And they're going to say, look, I just need whatever they need, a job. I want to go to college. I got to get out this city, because if I stay in this city, I am going to get killed or I'm going to go to prison. These are people who, like, this is how this happens. This is how it works, right? So you got to bring right? But in the meantime, you need the law enforcement out there, right? You need the police. You need to hire more police so these kids can get confident in, maybe they may have one police officer that they trust. They may trust one CVI person who's really doing the work. The only person I know who's doing the work out here is Apostle Sandy Norman and the Chain Breakers. So they may have somebody from the Chain Breakers that they trust, and will go and talk to them. You know why? Because they see Pastor Sandy Norman in the streets. They see Pastor Sandy Norman be outside feeding them. They see Pastor Norman knowing the family's kids or the kids' family members or stuff like that. That's how this works. That's how community works. And we can get there. We can get there if we get more law and order, right? More law and order. We got to also get people into these schools, these teachers and stuff into these schools that actually care and want to do the work. Like mandated reporters. That's what a teacher is supposed to be. So if they see something that's not right, they're supposed to be able to report it and not get fired and get on a do not hire list. You understand? Because they're doing right. So right now we're dealing with a bunch of laws. I am a very, very blessed person. Okay. God has always provided a safe path for me, even when I was doing wrong. I have been locked up before. I've been in jail. I've been in prison. I've been on parole. When I first decided, and I was like, look, man, I'm from 17 to 22, 23, I was in and out. And I saw that, I was like, look, I can't keep looking at the same people coming in here. They in their 40s, they in their 50s. I'm in there with people that's, the cell next to me. They are coming off of heroin. So, when a person's coming off of heroin, they sweating, they throwing up, they have diarrhea, shakes, all that stuff. I was around that at an age when I was getting in trouble. I was around people who would be straight drug addicts, straight on crack, and would come in there, be as big as my finger. And then after 30, 45 days, then I'm gonna give me a drug program. They gonna go in there, I'm getting a drug program. So then, but they are in there eating, they eat 3 times, so they go back looking healthy. And then they go to the drug program, they're not ready to get off drugs, so they end up leaving the drug program, got a warrant for their arrest. They come back. So I saw that so many times, and I was like, nah, I got this can't be my life. So I talked to people who I was locked up with people. That's why I know, even with this illegal immigration scam. When I was at Bedford Correctional Facility is one of the most, that is the maximum security. And I was in there, because I had a fake ID. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how racist that detective was that locked me up. So, like I said, I have all angles. He could literally let me go. I was gonna be, that fake ID had met my name, everything. I was gonna be 21. This was in December. I got locked up in December. I was gonna be 21 in January. Any other person would have threw that away. That person, he just was. But it didn't matter, right? Because at the end of the day, I shouldn't have had the fake ID, regardless, right? Cool. So I go to jail. I go to prison. Now they upgraded to prison. But the fact that I just had a fake ID, I go to this maximum security prison, right? So I'm in there with people from Pamela Smart, from the Lifetime channel. They always do a movie on her. She was a teacher. They started messing with her student, and then him and like 2 of his friends end up killing her husband. I was in there with her. She's still in there now. I was in there with this lady named Santi Kynes, who had this real weird relationship with her with her son, and they was thieving and conniving. They was taking everything. And she was so dangerous that if she was locked down, she tried to escape so many times, but she was older to try to escape. But they had it so locked down with her that if everybody had to go into their pods because no one could be out because she was escape risk. And then I was in there with a lot of illegal immigrants who was coming over here saying they was pregnant. Once they got over here, once they had the baby, they killed it. They killed the baby. So there was people in there like calling them, you BK killers, BKs. I'm like, what's that, baby killing? It's going one lady, and it was a group of them. It was a group of Hispanics. There was like 15 or 20 of them. They were all in there for the same thing, killing their baby. They didn't speak no English at all. So I saw this was, now mind you, this was in 2005, 6, 7, 8. I went, you understand? I got my GED in jail. I don't talk about these things, but I have to, because all this stuff is fraud. Like, all this stuff is fraud. They do not want to help. They don't want the help. If they want to, they would lock these kids up. These kids need to be locked up. Okay, they need to be locked up. They need to be locked up. They need to see a dose of reality. Okay, they need to see a dose of what jail is. They need to be in that holding cell for them 48 hours. The holding cell experience is the worst of all time. They need to experience that. A lot of them, if they just experience that holding cell for 48 hours, don't charge them. I'm talking about these teens. Teen takeovers. They just experienced that holding cell for 48 hours. It's gonna be less and less teens out there, man. Paying them or not, it's gonna be less and less teens out there. That messes with your psyche, right? Just like solitary confinement. I was in solitary confinement for 45 days. 45. There's people who was in solitary confinement for years. All that messes with your psyche. But you gotta be strong. You have to be strong. So I know there's my nephew-in-law. My nephew-in-law was in prison for 25 years. He got in trouble when he was young, 16. And he got his master's degree. He came home probably about 5, 6 years ago. He's a great father to my niece, and he is a social worker in the Bronx. So like, and I was talking to him the other day, like, about this, because New York resources, prison resources is much different than what these people are doing. These are criminals. They're criminals, and they don't want the change. Will Hall is a criminal, pastor, a little young pastor criminal. This man in the middle is a criminal, and they try to play off that emotions and that soft spoken voice and stuff like that. They are detrimental. Like, the fact that y'all let Brandon Johnson even walk on the South Side is crazy. On the side, like, if I would have ran for mayor, even Danielle running for mayor, he gotta go back. He gotta get out of. He gotta get out of Chicago. He don't got to, like, he can go to Elgin, but he can't be seen in Chicago. I watched you try to try to sell off the whole South Side. You and your progressive buddies, Hispanic buddies, the cartel and all that. Like y'all, I don't even know why y'all let him on the south side. The west side, they say it's all foreigners. Though they say it's gone. Okay, I talked to some police officers that told me the west side is gone. So I don't even know why y'all let this man on the south side. He should not be welcome on the south side at all. But it is what it is. So then he talks about the youth investment. You don't care about the youth. All the resources that the city has just off the special events department, if y'all cared, something would have been done. You don't care. You don't care about the youth at all. Just like Father Pedophile Flavor don't care about the youth. Y'all don't care. It's big business. Y'all don't care. Y'all not teaching them nothing in school. You're teaching them to be illiterate. Why y'all still screaming, we need more money, the schools need more money? Who are you going to teach? Who are you teaching? Who are you teaching? These kids don't even know how to spell apple. They don't know anything, but they know their pronouns. You got them, you using our kids as experiments, and this guy is so bad that in Pritzker's, Illinois, because this is Pritzker's, Illinois. In Pritzker's, Illinois, the parents that speak out against this or try to get some help, or the teachers or anybody else, he gonna have you right in court. Shut it down. Get you a guardian ad litem. Anytime you feel like you speaking out, saying something against what's not right, all of a sudden they think you need a guardian. Everything is big business, and he got in it. Him, Chris Welch, all them, they all need to be locked up. But he cares nothing about that at all. Johnson's public safety platform includes improving detective capacity, increasing homicide clearance rates, removing illegal guns from the streets, CPD reforms tied to accountability, and a federal consent decree. However, his administration has also moved away from traditional policing tools, including ending the city's use of ShotSpotter. Then his summer safety strategy is neighborhood presence, community partnerships, youth engagement, violence prevention sources. We still need more aggressive enforcement, especially against repeat offenders. Y'all have lost offenders. There's people out here right now that y'all don't even know where they are. They cut off their $1 million a day ankle bracelet that y'all are getting. I mean, y'all, it's to the point it's crazy. But this is who, I don't know if you guys have seen this lady, but she's been popping up everywhere. Did anybody know Reverend Sierra Bates? Does anybody know Reverend? Does anybody know Reverend Sierra? Reverend Sierra has popped up. She even popped up at the Pritzker. Let me see if I can find that picture. She even popped up at a few press conferences about, no, we don't need the National Guard. We don't need the National Guard. When I started seeing her pop up places, I said, oh, oh, where's she at? Mm-hmm. Reverend Sierra Bates. This was it right here. Hold on. Oh, it's got a video. I didn't even know it was a video. Oh, we're about to see the video. Bear with me, bear with me. Thank y'all for taking this Sunday. Where you at, Miss Michelle? DM me, man. I'll come talk. So that's Mr. Gregory said I gotta come. Mr. Gregory said I always gotta talk to the people. He said the people made you. He said the people made me. That's what he kept saying. And he absolutely right. How can you not talk to the people? These people be crazy. All right, y'all. This y'all lady right here. Give it up for Reverend Sierra Bates, y'all. Give it up for Sierra Bates.
Executive Director of Live Free Illinois, where we organize over 120 congregations across the state, working at the intersection of gun violence and incarceration. What we are witnessing today is devastating. The President of the United States has chosen to target Black and Brown communities already traumatized by state-sanctioned violence and white supremacy. This is not just politics. This is state-sanctioned violence. This is an authoritarian stunt. This is a declaration of war on our people. Two things can be true at the same time. Yes, gun violence has disproportionately impacted Black and Brown communities. And yet, across the country, we are seeing historically low numbers in homicides and shootings. That progress is not in that.
Wait, are y'all hearing this? Can somebody let me know if y'all hearing this? Do you guys hear it? Hold on. Okay, you do? All right. Thank you. All right. Let me bring it back because I was getting scared for a minute.
Executive Director of Live Free Illinois, where we organize over 120 congregations across the state, working at the accident. It's the work of thousands of mothers, of fathers, of pastors, of organizers, street outreach workers, and young people who wake up every day to build public safety from the ground up. But instead of listening to us, this administration listened to a handful of Judas voices willing to sell out their own community. That is white supremacy, propping up a few to portray the many. And let's tell the truth. There are cities in Missouri, Louisiana, Mississippi with higher homicide rates than Chicago, yet they were not targeted. Why? Because this is not about saving lives. It's about punishing Illinois leadership, punishing Black and Brown resistance, and punishing Black hope. Chicago and people across Illinois, we don't need soldiers in our streets. We need resources in our schools. We don't need tanks in our neighborhoods. We need jobs, housing, and health care. We don't need an army to occupy us. We need our tax dollars invested in us. If the president truly cared about violence, he would invest in community-based solutions. If he cared about safety, he would hold gun manufacturers accountable. But instead, he has chosen to weaponize the military against Black and Brown lives, and that ain't right. Illinois, we will not be fooled. We will not be divided. This is a modern day attack to roll back our civil and human rights. But God has not given us the spirit of fear. And though the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, the Bible will take it by force. So hear me. We will not bow. We will not break. We will not bow down. We will not stand. We will resist. We will stand. And we will fight for our freedom and our communities, our rights by faith, courage, and collective power. And by the way, release the Epstein files. And with that being said,
The governor, on a number of occasions, has sent memos to go through their individual budgets and identify.
She said, release the Epstein file. Ah! All right. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Reverend Sierra. Woo! Now, this corrupt reverend that's coming up, listen, there's a new generation of the corrupt clergy. So we got Reverend, what I call him, pastor, R&B singer, freedom fighter, world traveler, alderman, William E. Hall, who's a pastor. And then we have Reverend Sierra Bates, who is a pastor. And she has a nonprofit, and the pastor's gonna keep them a nonprofit, for a little bit of CVI money. So we don't need no tanks. We don't need no souls. Cause we got it all under control. We don't need no we don't need no tanks. We don't need no. Okay. All right, live free, Illinois. Okay. All right, let's get into it then. Get into it. All right. Okay, did my love. I hope you got some good breakfast over there. All right. So this is Live Free Illinois, guys. Who gets a real second chance this season? Invest in healing justice. We can end gun violence and mass incarceration. Oh, really? I think so too. But first you gotta start incarcerating them right now. All right. So who we are? Let's talk about it. Mission. Live Free Illinois mobilizes Black churches. To improve public safety and transform America's broken criminal justice system. Our vision: an urgent crisis in Chicago and Illinois. Two core issues have outsized impact on Black communities. Of course, because none of the money that we have been allocated to get since them drugs was put into our community just never gets into the community. Public safety and criminal justice for decades. Of course, Chicago has led the nation in shootings. Now, did she just say that they didn't need the help and don't send the troops and stuff here? And this, in the first part, it says Chicago has led the nation in shootings. So if Chicago has led the nation in shootings, can you read this with me, y'all? Chicago has led the nation in shootings, impacting Black neighborhoods on the South and West sides too often. Too often the response from our local and state governments is insufficient and downright harmful. Despite the fact that the Black residents make up just 15% of Illinois' population, half of the state's incarcerated population is Black. There's a reason why our elected leaders continue to create so much harm Too often they design policies without listening to the communities most impacted by them. What we do, Live Free Illinois is a state chapter of Live Free USA that works to end this moral crisis by mobilizing Black churches, the most powerful organizing institution within our communities, to improve public safety and transform our criminal justice system. Our theory of change as a faith-based organizing force, Live Free Illinois seeks to grow the chorus of voices advocating for policies that transform Black communities, save lives, and actualize God's grace in our justice system. That's why we measure our success in terms of the number of faith communities we're mobilizing across Illinois and the number of laws and policies we help reform. The body addressing gun violence. Gun violence exists as a lingering problem, predominantly in Black communities on the south and west sides of Chicago. We acknowledge that gun violence is a symptom of poverty and oppression. That's how the white liberals, when they be going to the public safety meeting, that's how they be reading their script. And people going down there and telling them to speak on our behalf. Therefore, as we work to eradicate the root causes of violence in our communities, our priority is to execute strategies that will help to drastically reduce gun violence in the most affected areas of Chicago. This strategy includes strengthening relationships with the church and community. All the money that the church and the community has gotten over the decades, it hasn't strengthened it. It hasn't strengthened the relationship. Oh my God. All those politicians that you bring in during election season, it didn't strengthen up the policy. It didn't strengthen up the relationship. Oh my God. Hosting block club parties, community parties, block by block organizing, strategic relational night walks, and strategic and relational night walks. I haven't seen them do any night walk yet, but I see Pastor Sandy Norman do a lot of night walks. Partnering with local service providers. We believe in an intensive community approach that calls for community members at risk to be shooters or victims to be in relationships with multiple providers. This supports our belief in promoting communal reconciliation and healing approach. Reconciliation, you know that word. I can't say it when I'm doing my white liberal college student voice. Community listening and connection to resources. Clergy will build relationships with shooting victims, labeled shooters. This is what it says, labeled shooters, and potential targets of violence. These people will be identified, thorough community listening and partnerships. Clergy will work with other agencies to assist individuals with complete wraparound services. The ballot. We believe that our churches are the legacy institutions in our community. I mean, that's what the intent was supposed to be. I mean, if they're now, it's done. Churches, y'all can hold on, but it's time to throw all those. It's time to open up the abandoned churches that's on these corners and put like people like Pastor Sandy in the church. You know, people who really gonna go out and do the work. Okay. The popular clergy era is gone. It's gone. Okay, y'all haven't done nothing. Y'all haven't not done nothing but a bunch of womanizer, pedophilia, substance abuser, domestic violence abuser. I mean, y'all going straight to hell. I mean, and y'all know it. That's why y'all just crashing out with the collar on. At least take the collar off. We believe that churches, okay, with a unique platform that has historically brought communities together for healing and justice. Through the teaching of resistance theology, our goal is to organize the church to combat institutional and systematic racism. The only systematic is the system of the churches, okay? The system of the church is the problem, okay? Systematically sick, systematically morally corrupt, unworldly. Y'all have dedicated y'all life to sinning. Sinning, and as long as you hold that Bible, you all right. Like, you are legit sick. Live Free Chicago congregations will mobilize voters. You hear that? Live Free Chicago congregations. Listen to me good. Listen up. Listen to me good. Live Free Chicago congregations will mobilize voters, particularly low propensity voters, to influence policies. They don't know no policies, practices, and programs that have direct impact on our most vulnerable communities. Live Free Chicago pays attention to local election cycles. Do y'all? Do y'all or do y'all cheat? To see, y'all only thing that y'all pay attention to is to see who's running, so y'all can figure out how many ballots that y'all gotta steal to get the corrupt one back in or a new corrupt one in that's gonna continue this systematic racism scam. We don't need no help. Send the money, we gonna do it ourselves. Okay, well, before Trump even got in office, the second time, the first time, even before President Trump ever thought about running for the president of the United States of America, y'all was getting money. Y'all was getting money for the community to fight the gun violence. So can't put it on him. All right. Our organizing includes organizing training for the church, and community issue-based campaigns led by congregations and communities, leadership development, culture hosting monthly community meetings, nonviolent civil disobedience and protests. Oh, like what I be doing? Maybe put that protest up there, because see, that's where you get the big bucks at. That's when you get the big bucks in, when you start protesting nothing. And then when you're protesting something, you can get an emergency work protection order on you, like CTU has done, me, Gerardo, and then, yeah. And now I'm going to try to subpoena us for our financial records. I got to put that up because that is ridiculous. The Buck, addressing economic violence, building healthy communities. Live Free Chicago congregations use their financial resources to invest in programs, initiatives that build better access to jobs, entrepreneurship, and I don't even know what that word is, poverty and discrimination. They also divest, I don't know, whatever y'all want to say, divest resources from companies and programs that discriminate against vulnerable communities to help perpetuate racial and economic injustice throughout our system. Our goals are to increase the circulation of the dollar in the communities that we serve, partner with churches to create Black businesses in the community served, train entrepreneurs and assist with the creation of their business from start to finish, help to build the capacity of existing Black businesses, work towards the startup of 2 franchises. Sounds good. These are their values. Like you always gotta look at the values before I talk about these financials real quick. All right, our values. Their values are Accountability. We are accountable in the community we serve, ourselves and our churches. Moreover, we are accountable to challenge institutions, systems, and people in power when necessary. Integrity, adhering to the principles of honesty, truthfulness, and ethical behavior when engaging in the organizing work. Grassroots, we prioritize and organize and marginalized voices, empowering them to lead as we challenge systems of racism, domination, and exclusion. Uh, we are unapologetically Black, faith-based organization committed to uplifting and loving our people, communities, and institutions. That's the culture. Faith, as faith-based organized, our ground principles is love. Through the power of love, we are moved to wrestle with powers and principalities, love justice, do mercy, and walk humbly before God. Bring about the kingdom of God on earth and activate faith communities through the power of the Holy Spirit. Well, I see one thing about adhering to the principles of honesty and truthfulness, because right here in your first part, in urgent crisis, I said this in urgent crisis in Chicago and Illinois, two core issues have an outside impact on Black communities: public safety and criminal justice. For decades, Chicago has led the nation in shootings. For decades, Chicago has led the nation in shootings. And then you had said to Trump that what that there was I mean, it was an attack on Black and brown, and that we don't need this troops. We don't need none of that. We don't need y'all. Y'all ain't doing it. Y'all ain't doing it. Y'all ain't doing it at all. So I don't know. But let's get back. All right. So then we have the staff. Oh, who do we got? We got Rev. We got Rev Sierra, y'all. Rev Sierra Bates Chamberlain. Well, all right. Reverend Sierra Bates Chamberlain was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. South side. Ruddy up. Ruddy up. She is committed to the fight for social and economic justice by strengthening communities through radical theology. As the founder and executive director of Live Free Chicago, Live Free Illinois, Sierra works with Black churches to create safe, economically viable, and self-sustained Black communities. Prior to Live Free Chicago, Sierra served as a senior organizer at a faith-based organization. Sierra received her bachelor's degree in social work from Lamar University, a master's in social work from the University of Illinois at Chicago, and a master's in theological studies from McCormick Theological Seminary. She has worked as a professor, oh my God, at Northeastern University, a mental health professional, and a strategy consultant. In 2013, Sierra was ordained as a minister to the Church of Jesus Christ House of Prayer Incorporated, where she served as the church administrator for the Chicago congregation. Sierra is a proud wife and mother of 3 daughters, 1 son, and a blended family of 9. Go on, girl. Go on, girl, with all that education, with your radical theology. So your radical theology is going to help get the guns off the street? Because I don't know what Black church you've worked with to create a safe, economically viable, and self-sustained Black community, because these Black communities looking real not safe. Like I mean, economically viable. Yeah, you got. I don't know. Maybe you should call me up and show me where the economically viable Black community that you and your Black church is working on. I would like to see it. Then we got Artemis Thomas, Deputy Director. Artemis Thomas is a bold leader, organizer, and strategist driving systematic transformation and social justice. She designs and leads high impact organizing and policy campaigns that advance police accountability. Not no church accountability, not no preacher accountability. We're going to blame everything on the police. No teacher account, no CPS teacher, no CTU accountability, no politician accountability. It's the police. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. I just feel like everybody need to have accountability, but I guess these days, and build community-rooted systems of safety that move beyond punishment towards healing and prevention. No, these people have to be, we're at the point of punishment. Y'all tried the healing and the prevention. And what y'all did was all the money that was supposed to go to the healing, y'all prevented it from going to the healing because y'all was stealing it. That's how that works. So now we're at the punishment part. Y'all don't need no more money. These kids need to be punished because we tried. Y'all stole millions of dollars for decades since the '94 crime bill. Like, you guys been affirmative. I mean, y'all changed it from, y'all rebranded it from affirmative action to DEI. Same thing. With a master's, they're getting a master's now, with a master's in social work from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Artemis bridges academic rigor with lived experience to develop leaders, shape policy, and move communities into action. Her work spans justice diversion, coalition building, trauma-informed policy advocacy, grounded in a deep commitment to holistic violence prevention and community power. Directly impacted by police violence, incarceration, and gun violence with her own family, Artemis brings both urgency and authenticity to every space she enters. She does not just advocate for change, she architects it. Through her leadership is helping to redefine public safety through equity, healing, and community investment, a dynamic force in organizing and policy. Artemis mobilizes people, y'all. Aligned strategy, we know that's all this is. That's all it is. It's PR. It's PR. It's sickening. These strategies, these strategists that they continue to hire is why I don't take none of these politicians seriously, because they don't want to change anything. Build coalitions that win advancing justice through the power of collective action. Dr. Rodney C. Walker. Rodney. Dr. Rodney C. Walker is CHRC Network Program Director. Dr. Rodney C. Walker has over 20 years of senior management experience serving social services, community health, community development, and justice-related nonprofits serving Chicago and statewide communities. Dr. Walker has implemented several faith-based ministries. Oh, so this is the one who puts the ministries together. This is the nonprofit. This is the grant writer right here, y'all. Dr. Rodney C. Walker, he been doing this for a long time. Yeah, hook it up. What you do? So say you want it like this, you want it like this, you want it like this, and then we're gonna put it on here. This is him. Yes, it's the nonprofit guy. If you need a nonprofit, holler at him. He'll probably give it to you for what? He'll probably give you a discount or something. He works something out with you. With congregations within the city of Chicago. Dr. Walker holds a BA in political science from Chicago State. Okay. University. And then he has his MDiv from Chicago Theological Seminary, and then his DMIN, I guess, doctor, minister, master's and then a doctor's from Northern Seminary Christian Community Development. Then you got Pastor Jesse Mack. What up, Pastor Jesse? He's Development and Communications Director. Jesse Mack is excited to serve as a Director of Development and Communications at Live Free Illinois, where he will leverage his extensive experience in nonprofit advancement to support the organization's mission for social justice. With years of experience in institutional advancement and over a decade of experience in a faith-based community, Jesse has a strong background in fundraising, community engagement, and strategic communications. This is a little strategist right here too. Having successfully managed donor relations and led impactful initiatives throughout his career. Previously, he held a senior leadership role at a network of charter schools where he played a key role in raising significant funds to support educational programs and foster partnerships with various stakeholders. A Chicago native, Jesse holds an MBA with double concentrations in marketing and management from DePaul University, Kellstadt School of Business, as well as a BA in communications from Denison University. He's deeply committed to community service and has been actively involved in organizations that promote positive change, including his current involvement in minister, whatever that word is, minister leadership at his local assembly. He is a proud member of the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. In his new role at Live Free Illinois, Jesse aims to enhance development efforts and amplify the organization's message, furthering its vital work in justice and liberation. Well, the liberation part will come in, and if y'all let these people start going to jail, you start putting these people, these people in prison, and then you go and then you bring in the National Guard so they can figure out what they're gonna do with their life because they're not gonna come out the house. When they even thought that Trump was bringing, when they saw that it could be a possibility that Trump was gonna bring the National Guard in Chicago, it was none of these shooters was outside. None of these shooters was outside. The illegals was because they don't speak English, so they just was acting the full wild. But everybody else, nah. Then we got Arthur McGriff, Decarceration Fellowship Court. I have never heard of decarceration. Let's see what this is about. Arthur McGriff is a workforce development and community engagement leader with over 15 years of experience addressing systematic inequities and reducing resource barriers in Black and low-income communities. I thought y'all was unapologetically Black. That Black and low income, low income, illegal aliens, because they all mixed them in now. So, they're going to have to keep, they got to take care of them too now. His work focuses on creating pathways to opportunity for individuals impacted by incarceration, economic exclusion, and community disinvestment. Arthur brings experience in the community and field organizing, base building, and relationships-driven engagement, including work with system-impacted and formerly incarcerated individuals. He has developed and facilitated curriculum and training that equip community members with practical tools of employment, civic participation, long-term stability. Arthur has worked successfully with people in organizations across diverse racial, ethnic, ideological, and faith backgrounds to translate shared values into collective action, bringing in equity-driven, people-centered approach rooted in trust, accountability, and racial economic justice. And then you got Brittany Waddle. She's a network manager. And then you got Marsha Yarborough. She has 28 years of experience. Yeah, y'all can go back and read this. Then you got Chris Mueller. He's a director of storytelling, digital organizing. He's a veteran, strategic market leader. Yeah, just basically um, a politician to come and team up with these people, and they'll if they give them some money, they'll stand with them and be like, that's the church, that's the church connection of the with the power. I need a church to stand by. Well, live free, da 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 da. Pastor Rev says she gonna pull up. You understand? Just she'll do it for about 550, 500. Got like $500 check. She'll do it. You understand? Because she getting crazy money from the city. But before, because I want to go in, I want to enjoy my Sunday, and I'm going to get back on here later on around 7 or 8, because I'm going to talk to y'all about this fraud religion that y'all. I got to explain who I am. This is the board. Well, the board has Pastor Bill Ellis. He is the pastor of Apostolic Pentecostal Church of Morgan Park. He's a graduate of King's Academy, um, Destiny Christian School in San Antonio. Growing up a PK, preacher's kid, he's had many experiences that challenge, strengthen, and develop his faith. Currently holds a certificate from Los Angeles Recording Workshop and the Musicians Institute of Technology. He has also studied at Trinity International University and Moody Bible Institute. Bill Ellis is a loving husband of Kelly and Denise Ellis and father of two adorable daughters. Then you got Dr. Chico Tillman. I think I seen him the other day. That's why he's probably looked at me like he wanted to fight me. After graduating from high school from serving 3 years in the Illinois Air National Guard, Tillman faced an impossible choice: testify against drug dealers in his community, thereby putting his family at risk for retribution, or face 20 years in prison. He chose prison. While incarcerated, Tillman had an epiphany. Sorry. I realized what was going on in our community. Most of the people in these communities are just in survival mode, and I see how their response were not only impulsive, but also reactive. So when I came home, I wanted to do something to change the trajectory of the community and do something. He did. First, an outreach worker for Ceasefire, the same organization that his predecessor at RSVP, Eddie Bolsonaro, worked for when he was featured in The Interrupters. Today, he's a few minutes away from his PhD in criminology, law, and justice studies, and he's a new executive director of the WISE Youth Safeties and Violence Prevention. Then you got Tenny Gross. Tenny Gross is executive director of the Institute of Nonviolence Chicago, a new support to reduce violence in some of the city's neighborhoods most impacted by violence. He is a veteran of the Israeli Defense Force, who also work with a variety of Israelis and Palestinian groups in support of peaceful coexistence and dignity for all. Tenney begins his career ending violence in the United States as a senior street worker for the city of Boston, and later recruited to found and be the CEO of the Institute for the Study and Practice of Nonviolence in Providence, Rhode Island. Tenney has a BFA from Tufts and MTS from Harvard and fellowship in strategic perspectives and nonprofit management from Harvard Business School. Then you got Pastor Marcus Tav, Kathleen Sansis, Dr. Angela Mahaffey, and then Reverend Stephen Thurston. That's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to him real quick. Because I'm gonna do a famous Friday on him. He deserves his own famous Friday. He deserves it. But yes, this is Sassy Pastor Stephen J. Thurston. And I'm just gonna read one of I think he called me Fred Hampton the other day. I'm not Fred Hampton. He called me Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Yeah, he called me uh, Fred Hammond, but he put this together about the gun reduction because he has to save face because the gun reduction is Brandon Johnson's supposed to trying to put $100 million in that. He's trying to take $100 million in resources and put it in this gang reduction first ever executive. I mean, first ever. He's known for doing first evers for a lot. He did the first ever for the homeless chief homelessness, Cindy Soto. They stole that money. It was supposed to be a 4 year grant. They stole that homeless money in 3 years. So she stepped down. She had to step down. There wasn't no more money. So now him creating a gun violence reduction office is just so they can get this $100 million to steal. And Live Free Illinois has received money already, CVI money, and that is the thing that I want people to understand. Let me go back. Let me get her real quick. All right. So in the fiscal year of 2023, through the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, they established to establish a community trauma recovery center. They received $1.9 million. She did. Okay. Then in fiscal year 2023, they received in a state funding continuing the community trauma recovery center program. They received $3,176,200. Then an additional ICJIA, which is Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, funding for continued operation of the Community Trauma Recovery Center through January 31st, 2026. They received another $1,852,783. Then they got a grant from November 1st, 2024 through the period of, it's going to be in time until October 31st, 2027. The grant was $364,872. So based on all of these awards, Live Free has been authorized to receive at least $7,293,855 for violence prevention, trauma recovery, and related programming. So they've already received almost $7.5 million for violence prevention, trauma recovery, and related programming. Now, they went and called her up for this new scam, this new gun reduction scam, and she came and stood by him and I'm not saying that she's getting it if they're going to give it to Live Free Illinois, but that was the plan. That was the plan. So if you already got $7 million, or you got at least $4 to $5 million, show me what y'all have done to to change Chicago from being the latest. I mean, you please show me what you guys have done to show me that you guys are combating what you guys say on your website, that we're trying to stop leading Chicago being they're first in shootings, because we know they're first in shootings. We know that Chicago leads. I know we know this, but the mainstream media will tell you something different. Uh, these politicians will tell you something different. This clergy will tell you something different. But on her actual website, she said it. She said it. She said it. Let me go back, because I'm gonna have to keep going back to that, because this is on. They're gonna have to probably change that, but I already got it. So Chicago has led the nations in shooting. You know what I'm saying? For decades, Chicago has led the nation in shootings, and you got you almost got you got $7.3 million, my girl. You got $7.3 million, Rev. You and your little group. So I'm just trying to figure out, where's the money going? Where's the money going? To your blended of 9 family? To the people you're paying? Rev, right. So yeah, let's get back to Twinkle Toes. All right, so Twinkle Toes, he called me Fred Hammond. I like I said, I don't take none of that. I don't. People could talk about me. Like, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. Like I know who I am, and I know. Yeah, I just know. I really don't really care about any of those things. But Twinkle Toes, I just know that I don't know what new generation of downlism um, that you and Jamal Bryan and the rest of y'all weird pastors are trying to normalize. Like, y'all are gay. Majority of y'all are gay. This man is a homosexual. Because there's no, I mean, he's a homosexual, and he knows he's a homosexual. But I don't care about him being a homosexual. Like, I have a problem with him being a pastor and you're not living in your truth, because I would hate for you to claim Morehouse man, and he went to Oxford University. Um, I gotta read this thing. For you not to live in your truth, like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why you wouldn't live in your truth. But this, let me find it first. So I'm gonna do a famous Friday on him, but I just want to understand. I just want to understand why, as a pastor, I understand that you got it as a pastor. As a pastor, why would you be on the Chicago Black Hall of Fame as an ally? These people, I know, shout out to Kim Beach. These people I know that are out. They're out and happy, out and proud. Now he says that he's not. So he received the Lori Branch Community Ally inductee, Sassy Pastor. Sassy Pastor Stephen Thurston. For the past 2 decades, Stephen has empowered and equipped individuals to reach their full potential by leading them to change what's within in order to change what's around. A native of Chicago, Illinois, Stephen gained his intellectual prowess at some of the most respected academic institutions in the world, including Oxford University, Northwestern University, Mercer University, and Morehouse College. Stephen's ability to translate truths and practical principles what's it called? Where is that? To divergent demographics lead him to author the book Mirror Moments and has enabled him to address audience across the globe, leaving them challenged, changed, and charged. Stephen currently serves as the pastor of the New Covenant Baptist Church in Chicago, a social justice champion with the city, and CEO of Empowered Enterprises. I think that's it. All right. So he is 4th generations in as a pastor. And I think this is the pastor, and he's happy to be in the Chicago Black Gay Hall of Fame. I don't know any heterosexual pastor, even as an ally. I don't know any heterosexual pastor or priest would be like, yeah, I'll receive that award. Thank you. Oh my God, man. Word, you gonna put me in the Chicago's Black Gay Hall of Fame? I'm gonna be an inductee for the Chicago Black Gay Hall of Fame. Me, Pastor Thurston, the second. Me, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna let my daddy's legacy. I'm gonna let my daddy's son. I'm gonna let my daddy's first name, granddaddy's first name. Was it 3 of them? 2 of them, right? Got the junior and him, right? Anyway, the Stephen Thurston name. Anytime you go and look up, I just looked up his name to figure out what church he was from. And when I looked up his name, this popped up. I didn't even know, but it is on his page as well. So he did let everybody know that, that he was excited for this. But I just know as a heterosexual male, I got many heterosexual friends, male friends, and they just ain't. I don't think so. I'm gonna go around and ask. I'm gonna go around and do the pastor challenge and the heterosexual man's challenge. I'm gonna ask him. Today I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna go around today. I'm gonna start today, and I'm gonna say, if the Chicago Black Gay Hall of Fame would like to honor you and put you in their Gay Hall of Fame, would you accept that? And I just want to know. And they may do it, you know what I'm saying? It's different times. But I know as a hetero, you could still teach the word and because God loves all, all that stuff. But you don't got to be inducted in no Gay Hall of Fame, especially. And you be over those to ally thing. Nah, man, ain't nobody going. Come on. So, yeah. Anyway, he's also on the board of live free. And he's also best friends with Brandon Johnson. They're gonna say no, so um, and then you already know pastor, R&B singer, freedom fighter, world traveler, uh, William Hall. He's another corrupt clerk. This is a new generation of uh, pastors. And it's giving downloadism vibes as well. The patterns and the habits that I said, and like, I've been around for a very long time. I'm unapologetically who I am. So, I know downloadism. I watched the Oprah Winfrey show when she had that guy on there talking about the downloadism. I also read his book. So when I was young, and I like not young, but like like 19, 20, like yeah, like so I know what it can possibly look like, and it's a lot of downloadism going on. It's a lot of um homosexuality going on within the churches on both sides. The women be gay too now, and y'all all hide under the master's degrees and the bachelor degrees and the HBCUs, or like this man, he goes to Oxford University and he traveled there and all that type of stuff. And I guess he also is a radical. He teaches radical theology. Radical theology must be the new thing. So they curse you out, try to talk about you. This pastor has called me all types of names on Facebook because I'm coming with the facts. He doesn't like that, so he has to go in and talk about how I look, my weight, all that thing, which I don't care about. Like do whatever you want, and then do whatever gets your rocks off. Like I don't do all that. I don't care about any of that. I'm just gonna keep following this money. I'm gonna continue to follow this money and show it. Now, if you want to go back and forth about you being gay, I'm not gonna go back and forth with a person who I know who's a homosexual. Okay, I know that you're a homosexual. So I'm not gonna go back and forth with anybody that's a homosexual. And that's why you're going back and forth with me, because you are a homosexual with very big feminine energy. Okay, you think you a bad bitch. See, Stephen Thurston think he a bad bitch. So I don't go back and forth with bad bitches. Okay. I don't. I prefer to hold their hand. Only if they have a brain. He won't go back and forth with you. Okay. So, well, this is not the picture I wanted to show you. Let me take this off though. Yeah. So he's part of the new gang of corrupt clergy that's coming in, and it's a scam. Oh, this is scam. This is his best friend right here. Oh, and there's another one. Look how happy he is. Look at his pants in the front. Even his hairline, man. He just First of all, he needs to cut this off. He needs to let it go. It's giving. He looked like a like a 9-month old baby, but he never grew out of his face, but it just grew hair. Like he looks crazy. But there's Jamal Bryant's assistant in the back. They gonna keep them some. Yeah, I was around a lot of these people. I was around a lot of these people. I saw the homosexual activity when I was living in Atlanta. I know exactly how this works. Okay, I know it. They keep gay assistants around. They keep a stupid, dumb, good-looking lady around as their first lady to show off while while she gonna come back with, oh my God, I just got tested positive for HIV. Well, ma'am, you didn't know that that your husband was out there with all the gay boys. You don't see it everywhere you go. They got a gay assistant, gay makeup artist, gay this, gay that, gay this, gay men this, gay that. They done literally just destroyed the makeup and hair industry. Like I don't even know if the women. It's very rare when I see a woman assistant, a woman makeup artist, a hair artist. Like they have literally infiltrated, and y'all have allowed it. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, you need it. You need it. Y'all be worried about. Come on, y'all be wanting me to give my life to the Lord, which my life has given to the Lord. I've given my love, I love the Lord, but y'all feel like my life given to the Lord is to not be attracted to women or like women. You should want me to be attracted to women because women ain't gonna have none of these jobs. They have literally taken away because they're all on a down low. They all do penises, like all of them. It's like it's an epidemic. Like it's a ritual. It's a ritual. This is a secret society of downloading. Is indoctrination, gayism. Okay, you already gonna be indoctrinated. Like as soon as you go to certain schools, as soon as you start hanging with certain people, just know that you've already indoctrinated in homosexualism, and you're not even homosexual. These people, it's a cycle of getting raped, molested, even as an adult. It's initiation to get into this weird secret society that they in, and so they think because I talk about it, or I'm not afraid to talk about it, that that um that I'm the problem. Nah, y'all the problem. Y'all the one ain't out. Y'all ain't out. I've been out a long time. I know exactly what I like. Do you? Yes, you do. Why you think you saying you got a wife and then you're bringing all the HIV? So the HIV crisis out of control because of people like these two. The downloadism is out of control. So she got this gay pastor on her board. She got seven. So yeah, let me go back to Seattle. So Sierra got $7.2 million. She got a gay pastor on her board that talks crap. And the more he talk crap about me, the more I'm going to find out everything about him. Because a lot of people don't even like him. His Famous Friday is coming up. It's in August. So I hope that he watches. I hope he's watching this now. You understand? I hope that he does whatever he needs to do. I hope whatever next I'm going to be called. Manny Fresh, what's next? It doesn't really matter. I don't care what you call me. Just don't call me no Democrat. And I'm never going to be aligned with no bitch ass like you. So that's all that matters. All right. I want you guys to enjoy your Sunday. Um, Watch out for this one right here. She got $7.2 million. So please ask her when you see her in the streets. When you ask me to see her in the streets with her collar on, she thought she was hitting it that day. She thought she was killing it that day. Oh yeah, let me put my little collar, show my little light. Like, yeah, I like this one because show my little arms, just show a little bit, just a little bit. Like she looked like a scamming pastor. She looked like, eh, she looked like she was scamming pastor. And she is. You know you ain't doing nothing for the community. You went in with all the rest of them. All y'all are honestly an embarrassment to the church, embarrassment to the culture, and embarrassment to y'all city. Y'all literally are. Y'all selling out y'all city. Y'all is one big high school. It's ridiculous and sad. So yeah, I'll see you around at these press conferences while they use you and you use them because you need some more crime intervention money to try to continue to be the next Father Flager. How we gonna get Father Flager up out of here? We'll get y'all up out of here too. You're a fool to even follow her. She's terrible. She's a terrible person, man. Just like sassy Pastor Thurston is a terrible person. Just like Brandon Johnson. It's all preachers. It's an all corrupt preacher society. Yeah. So they trying to work on getting this $100 million. So they can try to seal the deal with this election. They're trying to do whatever they can to sell this election to keep Brandon up in there. They're gonna try to keep Brandon up in there. Brandon can't get up in there, man. Brandon is not for the people at all. It's homeless. Let me tell you, if Brandon was for the people, Brandon would have been took care of my mother and my godfather. He would have saw the evidence and he would have made sure that they were taken care of. He would have not let it get this far, even to this day. Brandon Johnson is a terrible person. A terrible person. He don't deserve that seat, and none of these pastors deserve y'all at all. Y'all need to stop highlighting these pastors. There's a lady, Apostle Sandy Norman, man. Apostle Sandy Norman is doing the work, and we're going to end with Apostle Sandy. Because see, that's who I rock with. She had church. I'll be there every Sunday. I'll be there. I do my work in there. I enjoy talking to Pastor Sandy and her group. I love talking to my seniors. I just love talking to people in general that mean good. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't continue just to be scamming for the rest of your life. As a former scammer, I'm trying to tell y'all can't continue to just be scamming your way through. Y'all gonna have to stop scamming. Y'all gonna have to stop scamming. It's only right if you stop scamming, but you're gonna have to stop scamming, man. Y'all gonna have to stop scamming. All y'all do is scam, scam, scam. Let me tell y'all this real quick. Danielle we're having our first event, Chicago Foods Red LLC. So the first event, it will save the dates. It is July 28th, Tuesday, July 28th from 6 to 9. We strongly encourage people to RSVP because we do have one sponsor who is taking care of the food for us. So we need a head count of what it's going to be looking like so we can have that. That's number one. And number two is Danielle is going to need security. So we just want to make sure that we have security there. Not like you can't get to her or anything like that, but we do know that we're fighting the devil in DC. I mean DC. We're fighting the devil in Chicago, which is the DSA. That's what I meant. DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, the progressive agenda, and these corrupt black coons that are on the Democratic side. So we don't want no interruptions. It is private, so we're not using any public funding. So if you would like to be a sponsor or interested in being a sponsor, we appreciate that as well. That will also help us do other events. This is what I've done. A lot of people do know me from Dick Gregory events. That's basically what I do, and I'm good at it. So this will be my first one that I put together for Danielle. I'm excited. It'll be hosted by Afro Elite, and it's another young hostess as well. They will be the moderators, and you'll come and get to know Danielle. So please make sure you guys go to flipsred.com and I'll show it to you. That's it right there. Oh, wait. There you go. So that's it. So FlipFred, so go to FlipFred.com. You guys can go RSVP. You also can reach out to me via DM or Zoe at ChicagoFlips.red if you're interested in sponsoring. If you want to discuss media, please reach out to media at ChicagoFlips.red. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be a conversation that needs to be had. You know, a lot of people look at us as bad opposition, but we really aren't. We're everything that y'all think like all of them. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, all that. You know, I am unapologetically Black. I am a freedman. I love who I am. I love my culture. I love my people. But I also love everybody else's culture. I love Hispanic culture. I love Greek culture. I love French culture. I love the Caribbeans. I love all cultures. You know what I'm saying? But I love my country, and I'm not going to let anybody come here and disrespect my country. So that's just what it is. It is what it is. Y'all don't have a U.S. Constitution. Y'all don't have a Declaration of Independence. Y'all don't got no laws. Y'all don't got no refrigerators. Y'all don't got no shoes. Y'all don't have enough. Y'all got communism, and it ain't coming over here. The people and the real people who flee those countries know what I'm talking about. All right. Now let me go back. We're going to end it. All right.
Well, first I want to honor God, I honor our council. And Mr. Blakemore, I do want to say that I do honor you, sir, also.
Hold on. All right. Hold on.
Get up and speak, sir. Well, first I want to honor God, I honor our council. And Mr. Blakemore, I do want to say that I do honor you, sir, also as well. And I appreciate you being here at City Hall. I do want to talk about public safety real quickly. As I was in the other public safety meeting, I was led to first give an apology to all of the parents that have lost their children to gun violence. And I also wanted to give an apology to all of the police officers because they're also victims of gun violence in the city of Chicago. And those calls that they have to get, you know, that their sons and daughters have been killed in the line of fire. My question that I asked the council was this. We have a crisis in Chicago with mass shootings. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm actually out there as a pastor in the midst of those shootings. I just was with a young man yesterday whose kneecap was shot off and who was a victim of gun violence. I buried a young man 2 weeks ago that was the victim of the mass shooting on 51st and Woods, where we had 7 people that were shot and 2 people killed. And so as we continue to say that violence is going down in the city of Chicago, tell that to the police officers who die in the line of duty, the ones that are being shot, and those families that are mourning, and those families that are grieving. I want to ask the question, how many pastors do you see down here in any of these public safety meetings? But when you turn on the TV for an executive order, you see all the different mega church pastors, all the CBI organizations, But when you ride in your communities, if you're on the west side and south side of Chicago, tell me how many CVI organizations do you see on those corners when those mass shootings are going forward? How many pastors do you actually see that are visibly present in any community? And so I'm asking city council, I'm asking you all, because it seems that there is something is not clicking. Mm-hmm. There are people that are holding office. You guys are out of touch, some of you, with reality. Mm-hmm. Brian Hopkins, the alderman of public safety, he needs to be reprimanded. I tried to hold a conversation with him respectably. I simply asked Brian Hopkins a question. Sir, can I have an appointment with you? I'm CVI. I'm a pastor. I'm in the midst of everything that's going on in the city of Chicago. And you all know what Brian Hopkins did to me? He put his hand in my face, and there the police saw it, and also the young men that work as security in the chambers, they witnessed that. How are you over public safety and you don't even respect the people that are actually out in the field doing the work? And as a politician, if you're in a seat of authority over an entire public safety position in a community, that means the entire Chicago, not just the north side. I spent over 20 years working, in the healthcare field, where we produce some of the best doctors in the city of Chicago and the world. I have never had a doctor to ever disrespect me. I've never had anyone to put their hands in my face. And I'm saying to you all, what are the repercussions of his actions? How are you over public safety and you are out of touch with the people that you're called to govern? Black Caucus, I'm asking you, what are you guys going to do about that? How do you just reject someone that's actually doing the work and you show no care and concern? We have a problem because we have the wrong people in leadership in the city of Chicago. And I say that respectively.
Thank you, Dr. Norman.
Yeah. So she down there all the time, Pastor Sandy. I just don't. These people do not care. Now, Sassy Pants, he will come down there if his boyfriend call him down there. You understand? His brother through preaching, preacher kid to preacher kid, preacher kid to preacher kid. But other than that, none of them I haven't seen. I gotta think of a name for her. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out this outfit. Now, but she had this custom made so her collar could fit in there. She used that CVI money. She used that CVI money for this outfit. It's cute. Like if I was a pastor, I'd probably wear it. It's given. That's how they care. 7.2. Miss 7.2 CVI. Who's gonna get that 100 million? They need to go to prison. So as the RICO continues, because it's a pattern, guys, it's a pattern, and we're gonna have to I'm just gonna keep showing the pattern. Now a lot of people are getting upset, coming on my page. I mean, they never had to go on my page. Like they could have blocked me, they could scroll me. Anything that I feel like I'd be triggered about, I block them. That's why people are like, Zoe, don't block. Oh, no. You're not gonna stress me out on my page. I don't go on none of y'all pages. So you're not gonna stress me out on my page. But I'm starting to see a lot of people that I'm triggering because I'm giving them the uncomfortable truth about their government in Chicago that y'all already knew and their friends and family that work for the government, but may give them a little hookup to get to go to, I don't know, the WNBA All-Star game. I do need a hookup for that, though. Like, I would like to go to the WNBA All-Star game. So if you know somebody that would gift me a ticket, I appreciate that because I would like to go to the All-Star game. So yes. All right, y'all. If you guys would like to help fund everything, but Danielle's events. You can go to flipsred.com. We appreciate that. Again, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out until the government start paying me my money that they owe me from these lawsuits. Like I'm owed like $1 billion in lawsuits, and they refuse to settle with me. So they just keeping them and thinking they don't think I know how to read and file motions and do this. Like I've sued Delta Airlines, I've sued Famous Days, I've sued with evidence, just like I have evidence of what you guys are doing. So whenever they decide to pay me, cool. But in the meantime, between time, while I'm working on this documentary about the RICO, the active RICO that's happening, don't support financial support by supporting Chicago Flips Red. We appreciate it at flipred.com. Also, I have a pack, Chicago Flips Red pack. You also can donate there. That money goes to helping with campaigns when it comes to anybody that I've endorsed or even meaning what we have endorsed, even meaning like Christian Maxwell, for instance. If Christian Maxwell has an event that helps us be able to get to her event because her district is so big. So because we do not drive, we do take Ubers, Lyft. Sometimes we may have to get a ride from one of our guys, Damien, and we want to make sure Damien has gas money, to make sure. So things like that. So I have a pack. So in Chicago, Flips Red. Let me put this all in here because I can't wait till Lynetta get back. When Lynetta gets back. Now, when I get the big bucks, I'm hiring Lynetta as my assistant and Miss Carol. Those are two people if they could work full time. Well, not well, I guess most of the time, and that's who I gotta get for that. All right, so we got this. This is my pack. This is our pack, and it's the red. And this is for our LLC. So that helps with my media because I am media, the uncomfortable truth. And then it also helps me start building my brand. But my original brand is uncomfortabletruithlifestyle.com. So, and this is my baby. I was trying to cancel culture. I was like, yeah, it's crazy. No, we're not gonna do this. So I made up a brand called Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle. So that's my brand, my personal brand, my lifestyle brand. Because I am a lifestyle influencer and I am an entrepreneur. So those are all the ways that you can support me and my brands and media. I want to continue to do more of this. I'm super shadow banned for YouTube. They don't pay me nothing. So that's just what it is. Last month, I think I'm going to receive a check for $195. And then before that was 400. I think the most that I've ever made on YouTube, all of them, but is $5,000 That was, if I could get $5,000 a month doing this, I would do it with a heart, like with no problem. I would go on at least 3 times a week. But I do take care of my mom and I do other things as well. So but that month did help a lot. So and I feel like I should be getting that every month when it comes to YouTube. So it is what it is. But I am shadow banned, so it is. But this is my job. This is my career. I'm an entrepreneur, and I have to serve the public with the truth. Some of it may be uncomfortable, you know, but it has to come out. And also, I'm not going back and forth with no people who are biased and don't see the problem with everything. Okay, it's not just the whites, it's not just the blacks. The systematic racism is gone. It's now the systematic racism and prejudice is amongst each other. We hate each other. We're the only ones that don't want to see us do good. So they reverse that on me by me exposing what these nonprofits give to the people. None of these people have stood with me, Miss Jessica, Danielle, none of these people have. And they have the resource, and nobody could think about standing with a group of people who literally have issues. I mean, and then going down there. So you can get mad all you want about me exposing us and who we are, but y'all not gonna keep screaming that Trump has taken this away and taken this away and taken this away due to racism. No, it's due to you guys stealing and not putting the money where it was supposed to be. Y'all greedy. Y'all only take care of y'all people. You cannot be a public servant and be in these positions and forget about the majority. You have literally forgot about the majority for y'all little minority, and it happened in your minority is a secret society full of people who go to y'all alma maters and Jack and Jill's and all that crazy stuff. So it is what it is, you know. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and enjoy your Sunday. I am gonna come back on here later on if I'm feeling like it, but I want to discuss just my stance with religion because I want people to really understand. I would literally cut you off if you try to force me to convert into what you believe what God has for me. You don't know me. You don't live in my shoes. I have my own relationship with God. Okay? So I'm big on that. So I'm gonna speak about it a little bit later. Because that's a cut off. I'm automatically just cut off. Yeah, mind your business when it comes to that. Peace. Reverend Sierra. Reverend Sierra.